I really want the 6. I can't fit in the 6. Come on, fit. God damn it, I'm so fat.
Do you have a title?
I don't.
Oh. What would it be?
Right now.
It's called, right now it's called Catskill Stories.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's my
right.
collection of stories from the Catskills. All right. When my parents told me at the age of 5 that they had bought a trailer, I knew already that it was trashy. If watching daytime television with my mother had taught me anything, it was that people who lived in trailers were called hillbillies, and they were built solely for our entertainment. Many of them would go on the Maury Show to reveal that their child was really fathered by one of their sons-in-law, but they weren't sure which. Or maybe a 16-year-old would fight on stage with her mother because she wants to get married to a pre-op transsexual. I feared that the acquisition of this trailer would lead me to lose all of my teeth, except for one of the front ones, and have me hoping for the rest of my life to hear Maury Povich say, "You are not the father." I did, however, look forward to inevitably learning how to play a washboard or a large jug with XXX scrolled into the front. In our jalopy of a white Lincoln Continental, we pulled up on what used to be a shuffleboard court when Darty's Mountain View Campground was Peter Pan Cottage Resort. I climbed out and swallowed mouthfuls of fresh mountain air, breathing heavily to recover from having vomited 3 times thanks to the lack of air conditioning. Since the AC was broken in the Lincoln, my parents believed that leaving the windows open on the Cross Bronx Expressway would help ease my car sickness. What it did instead was fill the car with smog from the stampede of vacationing sedans and Mack trucks driven by what I assumed to be overweight men on caffeine highs. "Here it is," Mom announced with a voice that she reserved for talking to infants and dogs. I looked at the dirty tan mobile home sitting next to a slanted deck, red flecks of paint peeling like my sunburned skin would the next day. For a quick second, I felt bad for the trailer. Its purpose in life was to be hitched to the back of a truck and pulled along the U.S. for fun family adventures, stopping to be slept in while the great American family visited Mount Rushmore, the Grand Canyon, and national parks. The trailer was stripped of its identity and thrown atop some cinder blocks. Mom and Dad hurried us inside to give us the grand tour. Standing on one toe and doing a ballerina twirl completed the grand tour. Dad did not approve. In my quick spin, I absorbed 2 things. The repetitious use of red, orange, tan, brown tweed fabric, it was on the sofa, the dining booth, the window treatments, and the cabinets. And the fact that it smelled like a box of old vinyl records with a hint of pine from the tree growing behind the lot. It struck me as odd that remotely everything in the trailer could be used as a bed. "The couch pulls out into a bed," Dad said. And up here, he pulled the front panel of the cabinet above the couch down on its hinge. "If you don't need it for storage, you can use it as a bed." "And look at the table," Mom said. "It's a booth, just like at a restaurant." She wanted so desperately to believe that this was a good decision. "And it pulls out into a bed," she added. It became so clear to me why these hillbillies were notorious for having children. They had mastered spacing issues. Why store your linens when you could store another half-dozen kids instead? I imagined the workers developing the designs behind the trailer. Yes, I love the idea of making a wall console to hold a television, but hear me out. What if we put it on hinges and make it a Murphy bed? Subsequently, the crowd goes wild and thousands more children are conceived in the lower income bracket. I was trying to think of ways to make this sound cool when I returned to my 2nd grade class after the summer. There was no doubt I'd have to hear the other kids talk about traveling to exotic locations like Hawaii, Jamaica, and Montreal. Why did my parents insist on vacationing to somewhere that mimicked life below our economic standards? Isn't that counterproductive? Isn't the point of vacationing to make complete strangers think you have much more money than you do, and because instead of eating for a few months, you save so you can buy $50 trinkets that you could buy at home for $5? Aren't we supposed to say things like, "What's the point of life if you're not living? Am I right?" and laugh a laugh that would never come out of your Long Island middle-class mouth, but rather a British thespian? My parents had it all wrong. They just didn't know it. Thank you.
All right. Hi. I know it's ironic that I'm saying hi because we've never even been face to face. I'm the guy that sits behind you in our Tuesday, Thursday, 10:05 morning class, and all I do is doodle and stare at the back of your head. And all you seem to do is stare straight ahead. Sitting in our chairs at our desks, we seem disconnected, but if you think about it, our chairs could be bike seats. Our desks could be handlebars. The floor could be pedals. You looking ahead and me staring at the back of your head would make more sense and make me less creepy if this was a tandem bike we were riding to our 2nd date. And yes, I'd pick you up with a tandem bike for our second date. Our first date, I'd pick you up in an elevator. We could ride it until it got jammed from us poking each other's buttons too much. And I do love a snarky girl, but I hope you're ready to be stuck in a broken elevator because waiting for the guy who fixes elevators feels like forever. And I'm not trying to say we could be forever, I'm just throwing it out there. Tossing my heart's horseshoe at your porcelain neck. You can wear it as a necklace if you want to. I'm just trying to initiate get to know each other games, like maybe a potato sack race. Wanna be my potato sack partner? We could race against all the single people and probably lose because hopping alone is easier than hopping as two, but hopping as two is more fun, so I'll do it if you want to. I'll be the first to sacrifice. I really, really hate tigers, parrots, aardvarks, hippos, you name it. But I'll take the hit and go to the zoo with you because I know how all girls love zoos, I think. But also, I'm not really sure about that, but also I'll prove that I'm not even remotely human around you. Around you, I'm a monkey who wants to groom your hair to get closer to that shampoo with the best green apple smell I've ever smelled. With that smell, you could be the queen of the Amazon rainforest. All the monkeys would bow to you. And speaking of rainforests, I sort of have one. Everything stays the same except for the forest. The rain stays. The forest is my front porch with a little roof as a canopy, and the rain is everywhere except for under the porch. So come over and we can do introductions. I want to introduce everything you probably won't like about me. Like, I pick my nose more than the average nose picker, but I won't pick yours until you're okay with picking mine. I act pretentious about politics without knowing much about politics. Sometimes I break promises. I'm not lucky because nothing I lose is ever in lost and found boxes. My mom told me if I find change, then I better pocket it. Pennies, quarters, nickels, you're a dime. And based on your edges, you're the sort of luck I need when I scratch a lottery ticket. Maybe I'll be a winner. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself with wild predictions. For all I know, you could be a bitesize, yeah, bite size. So I could crunch on her kisses in my mouth after we're done, lips sinking on my couch. Or you could be a bitch. You could be a real bitch. The kind of girl that doesn't like my poems. I mean, the kind of girl that complains about the water and the napkins and the service at her first date in the elevator. The girl who has high expectations for dinner in an elevator. I mean, come on. I know we haven't had many interactions besides the handouts you pass back when our hands are both holding the same sheet of paper for a millisecond, but I really think you should know this. I'm the guy who wears sweatpants to class and munches on Cheerios for breakfast behind you, who seems to be off-tune with the scribbling of class notes because I'm scribbling poems. I'm the guy who really likes the back of your head before you got your hair cut and also after you got your hair cut. And neck short really does bring out your shoulders. And I like you with pigtails and ponytails, and your hair down is fabulous too. I'm the guy who already knows the back of your head and would really, really like to get to know the rest of you.